my audience and my cameraman are joining with me today. Bugs Bunny, one of my favorite cartoon characters, is often heard as he pops up out of his hole saying, "I knew I should have taken that left-hand turn at Albuquerque." What is Albuquerque? Where is Albuquerque? You ever wondered? I don't, because I grew up there. It is in the heart of New Mexico. It is very unique in many ways from the cities on the East Coast. Very different. I will share 3 ways in which I find it to be very unique. Number 1, it is unique in the layout of Albuquerque. In the East Coast, when the population goes up, the buildings go up. Skyscrapers get taller, apartment buildings get taller. In Albuquerque, it grows out. CityData.com points out that it is about 3/4 the size in population to Washington, D.C., but it is 3 times larger in area size from D.C. It gives you a whole lot of elbow room. I think it's very unique in that it is a city that is very spread out. Number 2, the unique thing about Albuquerque is the Hispanic flavor. The heritage for the Hispanics goes back to the naming of the city. It is named for the Duke of Albuquerque, who came from Spain. The U.S. Census of 2008 points out that it has 44% Hispanic population, which is the largest in U.S. Speaking of Hispanic flavor, food. I miss the food. They have a very unique chili. They have red chili and green chili. It comes in 3 different flavors, hot, medium, and mild. And you can order that up on the restaurant menu anywhere you go. My favorite is fresh roasted green chili. The flavor and the smell is something I greatly miss. Sopapillas is another dish that's very unique. It is a fried bread. It is flattened, cut into squares, and then thrown into hot oil. When you throw it into the oil, it puffs up like a pillow. My kids like to call it soapy pillows, but it's actually sopapillas. Then there's another unique Spanish tradition at Christmas time. Here it is called luminaries. There they're called luminaries. And they light the way for the Christ child at Christmas. Instead of Christmas lights, you have luminarias. Number 3, the unique thing about New Mexico is its buildings. The houses in New Mexico are built out of adobe. This is a brick made out of straw and clay and then built into the house. It keeps the heat in the winter and the cool air in the summer. Another unique thing is that they have roofs that are flat. When I moved to the East Coast, I noticed a lot of houses have pitched roofs. But because there isn't a whole lot of snowfall there, they all can be flat. It doesn't collect snow, so it won't collapse. Because of the dry desert climate of New Mexico, the houses are cooled by something called a swamp cooler versus an air conditioner. Swamp coolers are fed by water. It soaks the pads on all 4 sides of a large machine that sits on top of houses. In the center of the machine is a fan. It spins and circulates air through the water, creating a cool breeze that is blown into the house. Very different from an air conditioner. And it wouldn't work here because of the humid air. I used to say that at 94 degrees, you could walk out my front door and still not break a sweat. It is a very dry heat. As I bring this brief discussion about Albuquerque to a close, I'd like you to look at the differences between the East Coast and Albuquerque and remember some of them. There's a lot of elbow room in Albuquerque, a lot of space. In D.C., it's got 61 square miles. that have the city. In Albuquerque, there's 181 square miles. Dry heat. When, on a hot, humid day in the middle of June, I could really use some dry heat now. Then, when you see the Christmas lights here in December, you can remember the luminarias of New Mexico, which light the way for the Christ child. Maybe, like Bugs Bunny, you'll take that left-hand turn when you go to Albuquerque, and you'll get to experience one of the most unique cities I have seen in the U.S.